Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, something just feels off? You've taken care of your skin, your clothes still reflect your style, but somehow your reflection doesn't quite match how you feel inside. It might not be your makeup or your age. It might actually be your hair. I get it. For years, I held on to the same haircut because it felt familiar. It was the style that worked when I was 35, so I thought, why change it now? But as I crossed into my 50s, I began to realize that what once gave me confidence was now quietly holding me back. Today, we're going to talk about 3 hairstyles that might be making you look older than you are, without you even realizing it. And more importantly, I'll show you 3 beautiful, low-maintenance alternatives that can lift your features, match your energy, and bring your whole look to life, without chasing youth or trends. This isn't about hiding your age. It's about honoring where you are in life and choosing styles that reflect your strength, your confidence, and your natural beauty. Let's dive in. Aging hairstyle 1, the overlayered, messy haircut. Let's talk about a haircut that used to feel fun, stylish, and easy, but now may be quietly working against you. The overlayered cut. You know the one. Lots of choppy layers, feathered pieces, and uneven sections that were supposed to add volume and movement. Back in your 30s or 40s, it might have felt fresh and flattering. But past 50, everything changes, especially your hair. Hair becomes finer, more delicate, sometimes thinner at the crown. And those playful layers, they start doing their own thing. One flips out, the other curves under and the back. Well, let's just say it's not always a pretty surprise. It's frustrating. You brush your hair, hoping it'll fall into place, and instead, you get chaos. You try mousse, a round brush, maybe even your old flat iron, and still it looks off. Not polished, not youthful, just messy. But the real issue? It's not just about styling, it's about structure. When layers are too short, uneven, or not blended properly, they mess with the natural shape of your hair, and that shape affects your face. Choppy layers that hang below the cheeks can actually drag your features down. Instead of framing your face and lifting your energy, they hide your cheekbones, break up your jawline, and make you look tired, even when you're not. And let's not forget the irony. Many women get layers thinking they'll add fullness. But if your hair is already thinning, too many layers actually remove the weight you need. You're left with stringy ends and a visible scalp, not the volume you were hoping for. So here's the bottom line. If your haircut needs 20 minutes of heat tools every morning just to behave, if it hides your favorite features instead of showing them off, if it makes you feel frustrated instead of free, it's not working for you anymore. And that's okay. You're not stuck with it. There are modern cuts out there that can bring softness, shape, and ease back into your routine without the high maintenance or the daily fight with your mirror. Coming up, we'll talk about what those alternatives look like. But first, let's move to the next sneaky style that could be adding years to your appearance, even if you've been loyal to it for decades. Aging hairstyle 2, jet black hair dye. Let's talk about color. More specifically, jet black hair dye. It's bold, it's classic, it's powerful. And for many of us, it used to be our signature, the color that made us feel confident, fierce, and in control. But here's the truth that most of us never hear. Black hair after 50 doesn't always do what we think it does. When we were younger, jet black had a striking kind of glamour. It gave us contrast. It made our eyes pop. It framed our face with intensity. But now, that same contrast can actually age us. Why? Because as our skin matures, it naturally softens in color. It loses some of that youthful flush and becomes a little more translucent. That's perfectly normal. But what happens when we place a heavy, flat, inky black frame around a face that's grown softer? The contrast becomes too sharp. Every shadow looks deeper. Every fine line, every circle under the eyes, every bit of uneven skin tone, it all becomes more noticeable. And under natural light, the effect can be even harsher. You look in the mirror and think, why do I look so tired today? But it's not you, it's the color shouting over your features. There's also something else we don't always talk about. Black dye flattens dimension. It doesn't reflect light. So unless you're under studio lighting 24/7, your hair can look stiff and dull, especially if your texture has become drier with age, which is incredibly common. And of course, the biggest struggle, roots. The moment those silver or gray hairs start growing in, they stand out like neon against black. You get that hard line just a few weeks after a fresh dye job, and suddenly you're caught in a cycle. Dye, touch up, repeat. Every 2 or 3 weeks, exhausting, expensive, and let's be honest, unforgiving. But here's what I want to tell you from one woman to another. You don't have to go blonde to soften your look. You don't have to go gray all at once either. There's a middle path. Try a rich dark brown with soft caramel highlights around the face, or add some warmth with chestnut tones. Even just lightening a few sections can take years off, not by changing who you are, but by creating harmony with the skin and energy you have now. Your hair color should enhance your glow, not overpower it. So ask yourself gently, is this color still serving me, or am I holding on to it out of habit? You deserve a hair color that reflects the vibrant, evolving woman you are today. Not the girl you once were, but the woman you've become. Up next, we'll talk about one more hairstyle that may have felt polished and elegant for years, but now might be quietly keeping your look stuck in the past. Aging Hairstyle 3, Over-teased, high-volume hair. Now let's talk about the one hairstyle that so many of us have leaned on, especially when our hair started thinning or losing its bounce. Big volume. You know what I mean. Teased at the crown, sprayed stiff, built up with mousse and round brushes and prayer. It was the go-to style for years. The higher the hair, the closer to fabulous, right? And for a while, it worked. It gave us that instant lift, not just to our hair, but to our confidence. We felt polished, in control, maybe even a little dramatic in the best way. But somewhere along the way, that style stopped working for us and started working against us. Because the truth is, that kind of volume, when it's overdone, doesn't say modern or elegant. It says stuck. It signals a very specific era, the 70s, maybe the early 80s. And unless you're intentionally going for a retro look, it can make your overall appearance feel dated, even if everything else about you is current and confident. But it's not just about time-stamping your look. It's also about how it feels. Over-teased hair doesn't move. It just sits there. It becomes stiff, like a helmet. And when your hair doesn't move, it doesn't reflect light. It doesn't soften your face. It doesn't breathe. That lack of movement can have a subtle but powerful effect. It makes you look more tired, more rigid, less approachable. And let's be real, it's a lot of work. Teasing, spraying, brushing out, dealing with tangles, scalp sensitivity, breakage, all for a style that might not even be flattering anymore. In fact, that kind of height can actually throw off the proportions of your face, especially if your features have softened with time. It draws the eye up, which can make your face look shorter or your jawline rounder. It can shift the balance of your entire look, and not in a way that feels fresh or graceful. Here's what I've come to learn. You can still have volume, but the kind of volume that flatters you now is different from the one that flattered you at 35. You don't need sky-high roots. You need soft lift, subtle fullness, movement, flexibility. Think airy, natural, modern. Not sprayed into submission. Think hair that sways, catches the light, and frames your features instead of overpowering them. Because here's the truth. Your presence is already powerful. You don't need big hair to make a big impression. Youthful Alternative 1. The soft bob, effortless elegance at any age. Let me introduce you to a haircut that I believe every woman over 50 should try at least once. The soft bob. Now before you say, nope, I'm not a bob person, hear me out. This isn't the stiff, boxy bob you might remember from the past. This is the new bob. Soft, modern, flattering, and so forgiving. The soft bob typically falls somewhere between the chin and the collarbone. It has gentle, face-framing layers. Not too many, not too short. And it's designed to work with your natural texture, not against it. So why does it work so well for women over 50? Because it lifts, literally. It lifts the jawline, defines the cheekbones, and opens up the face without feeling harsh. And unlike longer cuts that can weigh your hair down and drag your features with them, the bob creates shape and lightness right where you need it. I'll be honest, when I first cut my hair into a bob, I was nervous. I thought I might lose some femininity or softness, but the opposite happened. Suddenly, my features came alive. People kept asking if I'd done something new with my makeup, or if I'd just gotten back from a vacation. All I'd done was find a haircut that actually framed my face instead of hiding it. Another thing I love? The maintenance. This cut is so easy to style. You can let it air dry, scrunch it with your hands, or do a 5-minute blow dry. It still looks intentional, like you care, but you're not trying too hard, which, let's be honest, is exactly the vibe we want at this stage in life. The soft bob also plays beautifully with color, whether you're embracing your grays, blending with subtle highlights, or just softening your overall tone. This cut gives your color space to breathe. It reflects light, adds dimension, and never looks flat or heavy. But maybe the best part? It feels like you, the current you. Not the younger version you're trying to hold on to, but the woman you've grown into, stronger, wiser, and more radiant than ever. If you're ready for a change, but not a drastic one, this could be it. It's not a shout, it's a statement. Quiet confidence in haircut form. Coming up next, we'll talk about another great option if you're not ready to go short. A style that keeps some length, but adds movement, lightness, and youth without sacrificing flexibility. Youthful alternative 2, the textured lob, light, lively, and so easy to love. Let's say you love the idea of a fresh cut, but you're just not ready to go short. You like having a bit of length. Maybe you still want to throw your hair into a ponytail. Maybe long hair just feels like a part of who you are. If that's you, then let me introduce your new best friend, the textured lob. Lob stands for long bob, and it usually falls right around the shoulders, sometimes a little higher, sometimes a little lower. But what sets it apart is its soft, subtle layering and its incredible versatility. Unlike heavy, one-length hair that can drag your face down, the textured lob brings everything back to life. It adds movement, dimension, and lightness without demanding a lot of work. And here's the best part. This cut is a dream for aging hair. As we get older, our hair often becomes finer, drier, or a little less full. And the truth is, long hair, when not styled well, can start to feel limp or lifeless. But the lob, it creates the illusion of volume without weighing your features down. It frames the face in a soft, flattering way. It says effortless, without looking lazy. You don't need perfect waves or a professional blowout to make this cut work. A little bend with a curling iron, a spritz of sea salt spray, or even sleeping in a loose braid can give you that touch of texture. It's not about being styled to perfection. It's about having hair that moves with you. It's also one of the most flexible cuts out there. You can wear it down and loose, tuck it behind one ear, throw it into a messy bun or a sleek low ponytail. It adapts to whatever your day or mood calls for. And if you're transitioning to gray or trying to grow out old color, this is the cut for that too. The layering and movement help blend color variations beautifully, and the length is forgiving as you go through that change. But what I love most about the textured lob is how it feels. It feels fresh. It feels modern. It feels like a woman who knows who she is, but isn't afraid to evolve. So if you've been clinging to your length because you think short equals older, think again. This is a cut that gives you the best of both worlds: length with lift, softness with structure, ease with elegance. Coming up next, we'll explore a subtle change that can completely transform your look without cutting off a single inch, one that adds softness, frames your face, and brings a fresh, youthful energy back into your eyes. Youthful Alternative 3. Curtain bangs with soft layers, framing the face with freshness. Now I know what you might be thinking. Bangs? After 50? No way. And trust me, I get it. We've all had that one bang experience that haunts us. You know the one. Too short, too blunt, impossible to grow out. But let me assure you, curtain bangs are a completely different story. They're not straight across, heavy or high maintenance. Curtain bangs are soft, wispy, and gently parted, usually in the middle or slightly off to the side, falling like drapes along the temples. Think of them as a gentle frame, not a statement wall. So why are curtain bangs such a game changer after 50? Because they do something really special. They soften everything. As we age, our facial features naturally shift. The forehead might show a few more lines. The temples might look a little more hollow. The eyes may sit slightly deeper. That's all part of the beautiful story our face tells. But sometimes we want a little help in guiding where the eye goes. Curtain bangs help with that. They draw attention upward toward your eyes. They blur harsh lines without hiding your face. They add lift, movement, and interest without looking like you're trying too hard. And when paired with soft face-framing layers, they create a kind of effortless elegance. The hair moves naturally. The shape stays fluid. You look fresh, current, and open, like you still love to try new things without trying to be someone you're not. The best part? They're low commitment. If you change your mind, curtain bangs grow out beautifully. They blend into the rest of your haircut with no awkward in-between phase. You can pin them back, sweep them to the side, or let them grow into soft layers. They're also incredibly easy to style. No rollers, no salon blowouts required. A little styling cream, your fingers, and maybe a quick flip with a curling iron at the roots, and you're out the door. And if you're embracing gray or blending color, curtain bangs can help camouflage root transitions, soften contrast lines, and add us a modern edge to even the simplest cut. But here's what I love most about curtain bangs. They whisper, I still enjoy change. I still love feeling beautiful, and I'm not afraid to show up fully as the woman I am, right here, right now. That energy, it's not about looking younger, it's about feeling alive. So if you've been craving something different, but not drastic, curtain bangs might be the perfect nudge. A quiet shift that brings a fresh, soft spark to your look. So we've talked about the 3 hairstyles that might be quietly working against you, and 3 beautiful low-maintenance alternatives that can truly reflect the vibrant, confident woman you are today. But here's the thing. This isn't just about hair. It never really is. Your haircut is a reflection of how you see yourself, of how you're choosing to show up in the world at this stage in life. It can weigh you down, or it can lift you up. It can hide who you were, or it can highlight who you've become. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop holding on to old routines, old colors, or old cuts simply because they're familiar. Maybe it's time to ask, is this still me? Or just a version I got used to? You don't need a dramatic makeover. You don't need to chase trends. You just need something that fits, something that feels lighter, more authentic, more you. Because you're not here to disappear. You're not here to shrink or settle or blend in. You're still growing, still glowing, still showing the world what real beauty looks like, graceful, grounded, and full of depth. So if any part of today's message resonated with you, maybe it's time to try something new, not because you have to, but because you deserve to feel amazing in your own skin. And if you're not sure where to start, maybe just start by asking, what kind of haircut would make me smile at my reflection again? If you found value in this video, I'd love for you to share it with a friend who might need a gentle nudge too. Leave a comment below and let me know. What hairstyle are you wearing now, and what are you curious to try next? And don't forget to subscribe for more style and self-care conversations made just for women who are beautifully, unapologetically evolving. You are radiant just as you are. And the best? It's still to come.